One woman's top slipped for half a second on live TV. Half a second. That's shorter than a hiccup. Okay? And half the people watching didn't even catch it. They just woke up the next day and the whole country was acting like she set the flag on fire midfield. And for that half a second, America lost its entire mind, y'all. Congress got involved and there was a federal investigation over a woman's body, okay? They put more resources into this than solving actual crimes. She showed up to do a halftime show that she was invited to do, and they treated her like she snatched the Lombardi trophy and ran out the tunnel with it. Okay, but here's the part that still gets my blood pressure boiling. There were two people on the stage that night, and in that exact moment, one of them had their hand on the outfit in question, and guess which one the world would decide to drag, okay? It wasn't the man. It was Janet. She lost radio, she lost award shows, she lost years off her career. And the man whose actual hand pulled the fabric, he hopped off that stage, brushed his shoulders off, and went on to have the best year of his entire life. Ain't that something? Okay, so today we're doing one of these, all right? We owe Janet Jackson an apology, and by the end of this video, you're gonna be embarrassed you ever repeated that little funky phrase they made up just to save his image, okay? Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Indescribable, aka Geraldine Lake. Make sure you subscribe now so you don't lose my channel, because you know the algorithm be tripping. Okay, now I gotta say something before we start, because the tone of this one really matters to me, okay? This ain't a gossip video. I'm not here to laugh at the worst day of somebody's career, but I am here because I rewatched all of it as a grown person, and it made me mad all over again, because when this happened, I was young, and I remember the jokes. I remember how everybody had a comment about Janet and not a single word for the man standing right next to her. We all repeated it, every one of us. That's exactly why we owe her an apology. So this ain't slander, okay? It's a correction. Let me show you what really happened, who really did it, and why she's the only one who got sent the bill. Let's set the scene, okay? Because folks remember the outrage, but they conveniently forget the footage. February 2004 Super Bowl in Houston, Texas, 90 million people watching. This was the biggest stage on the planet, and Janet was the headliner, okay? You don't get handed that position by accident. That's not oh, she was just on the show. Okay, baby, she was the show. All right, that's legendary money. And Justin Timberlake comes out for the last number. Now, keep in mind, he's fresh off going solo, still building his little brand, and sharing Janet's stage was a favor. Okay, she was doing him a solid, not the other way around. And right at the end of the song, he reaches over, pulls the fabric clean off your girl's top. Okay, here's the detail everybody skips right past. You know what he was singing at that exact moment? The line right there was him singing about getting her naked by the end of the song. So this man sings about undressing her, then he undresses her on live TV in front of 90 million people, and somehow she's the one who ends up in trouble. Do that math for me and I'll wait, because I think it was staged and she took the fall, okay? The whole thing lasted about half a second. Both of them said it was an accident. Something was supposed to stay covered and it didn't, okay? I believe accidents happen, but even if I hand everybody the benefit of the doubt, look at whose hand was on the outfit. It was his. It was never hers. Two people, one accident, one hand, and they put the whole country's foot on the wrong neck. So here's where it goes from unfair to just plain nasty, okay? The FCC hit CBS with a fine, $550,000, the biggest fine they'd ever dropped on a broadcaster up to that point. Over half a second. Run that per second, and this is the most expensive half second in TV history. And Janet didn't see a dime of it, okay? She just got the reputation. Then came the blackout, okay? Her music gone from radio, her videos snatched off MTV and VH1. A week later, the Grammys come on, and somehow Janet's the one that's left off the guest list, okay? Meanwhile, Justin went to those same Grammys. He performed. He gave his little I'm sorry apology, and then he won twice, okay? That same week, same stage, same accident, same 7 days. One of them walked out with 2 trophies and a standing ovation. The other one got wiped off the board, and a few years later, they rolled out the red carpet and let the same man headline the Super Bowl again. By himself this time. That doesn't look like shared blame to me. It looks like Janet was being punished. Now, let me tell you why I don't buy the bad luck story, okay? I think a grown man got his feelings hurt and turned it into a personal project. The head of the company back then was a man named Les Moonves. Ran CBS, ran the whole operation, and by later reporting, this man wasn't just annoyed, okay? He was heated. Not corporate PR problem heated. Personally, wake up thinking about you and how the end you heeded. The story goes he wanted Janet to come by and beg. He wanted a tearful public apology, the whole performance, and when she didn't get on her knees the way he wanted her to, he took it personal, and it stayed personal for years. Okay, so this is all over a half a second that wasn't even her hand, so go to hell, Les. Okay, he's the one reported to have pushed her music off every single channel the company owned, not because a judge said so, not because of any rule on the books, but because one powerful man decided a woman didn't say sorry cute enough for his taste. So he set out to make the world forget she existed. Now, sit up a little bit, okay, because y'all ain't finna believe this. That same man, the self-appointed judge of decency, the one who just had to punish Janet to protect America's morals, right? A few years later, he got walked out of his own company after a whole slew of misconduct claims. So the man policing her body had a file of his own the entire time. I'm going to just set that down gently right there and keep it pushing, okay? Let's talk about why it stuck to her and slid right off of him, because we all know why. We just be too polite to say it. She was a black woman at the top of her game. He was a young pop star still on his way up. When the machine needs somebody to pin it on, history's got a real predictable pattern about who gets picked, and it's never ever going to be the golden boy. And look at the words they cooked up to save his reputation. Somebody in his camp invented the phrase wardrobe malfunction. Now think about how slick that is. The phrase is meant to seem like nobody actually did anything, like the clothes just went rogue on their own and the outfit had free will, made a bad decision, and it worked so good that they put it in the dictionary. They wrote this man a personal get out of jail phrase, and the rest of us just repeated it for 20 years. Pure foolishness. Okay, and the damage to her wasn't just radio and one award show. She got dropped from a movie she was already cast in. The album she put out right after got no promotion, no airplay, nothing. And it turned into her worst seller in years, not because the music was bad, but because nobody was allowed to play it. And that's the price she paid. A man exposed her, a company shielded him, and then they sent Janet the invoice for all of it. Now here's the twist that should have everybody, okay? Everybody who piled on, feeling real dumb right about now. That giant fine, the one that kicked off the entire panic, the courts threw it out. And not one time. Basically every step of the way. A federal appeals court looked at it and said the FCC was flat wrong, that they acted, and I love this word, arbitrarily. That's the legal way of saying they were just making up stuff as they went along. So it went all the way up the ladder, and even the highest court in the land looked at it and said, no thanks. So sit with that part. The thing that they treated like a federal crime, the thing that they torched her career over, legally it came out to nothing. The fine never even stuck, and in the end, the company didn't really pay for a thing. The only person who paid was Janet. The one woman who technically didn't even do the pulling is the only human being who actually served the sentence, and not one court in this country could hand her back the 10 years they stole. So let me leave you with the part that gets me every single time. They tried to bury this moment, fine it, scrub it, punish it, disappear it. And do you know what grew out of everybody trying to find that clip the very next day and coming up empty-handed? That's right. You can thank Janet Jackson for the platform we know today as YouTube. One of the founders came right out and said he couldn't find the video anywhere online, and that was one of the sparks for building a place where people could share videos. So this platform, the one you watching me on right now, partly exists because they tried to erase her and it didn't stick. She's baked into the DNA of the whole app. That's not burying a woman. That's making her permanent. And look how it all shook out in the end. Janet got put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The company man got escorted out over his own BS. And the man who actually was on the stage with her, he finally posted his little funky apology. It only took him 17 years to find the words. But Janet outlasted every last one of them. She was always going to outlast them. But outlasting the people who did you wrong, it ain't the same as those people making it right, taking accountability. So this one's very simple. We owe her an apology. Every one of us who repeated that made-up phrase, and every network that dropped her, every person who blamed the woman for that man's hand. I'll go first. Janet Jackson, we was wrong. All of us, we sorry, okay? Now, y'all tell me, did you repeat it back in the day? Be honest in the comments, because this is a safe space, allegedly. And who else deserves one of these apology videos? Drop the name and I just might make it, okay? Sources are in the description like always, so before you come for me, go ahead and read, all right? And if this changed how you see that Super Bowl night, hit that like button. But if you don't, respectfully go on and go to hell, okay? But subscribe on your way out, okay? Hit that notification bell so you know every single time your girl uploads, because I'm coming for another one in the next video, okay? But until then, all right, remember that me and Janet Jackson share a birthday, May 16th. Make sure you grab us something nice, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.